Okay, what's up next are the pot stands. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on showing these because you've already seen them. And I have the two different kinds. I have the one that's got the nubs up on top, and then I have the kind that's just outright flat on top. Okay, and I've shown them on videos before, but basically what you do is, well, there I go again. You put this one in the ground first. It's got the little nub in it right here, and then you put the other one on top of it and hammer it down, and then you got your wood inside here, and then you put your pot on top. You kind of give it a mash and it'll hold it down good. So I'm gonna put the other one in the ground, give you a little bit closer view of it. Okay, let me pull this flat one right here out of the ground. And like I say, there's a difference in this one than the other one. The flat one, whatever you have, totally flat on top. It can move around. It has no corners. Okay, now the other one, it has little corners on the side. Okay, so what you can do with it, I'll move a little of this wood. Stab it into the ground and stab the other one into the ground. Okay, stack your wood up. I did this in the last video, but I've shown these before, shorter version, and so many people asked. Okay, when you got the little nubs on top, you don't really have to worry about things sliding off as bad. Okay, all right, let's go in the shop and I'll show you how to make both styles. Okay, now the flat stands are fairly easy to make. You just take a rod and cut a rod off at stainless steel welding rod, 5 32nd diameter. Okay, you know, step up from 1/8 inch. 1/8 inch is not thick enough. Okay, and what you want to do is you want to mark 10 and, let's see, 10 1/4 from one end, flip it over, mark it 10 1/4 on the other end. Okay, so you got your magic marker line. I don't know if you can see that or not. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Then you move on over to the vise. Okay, now this is like I say, this is one of them ones that's very easy to do. You can just buy some stainless steel TIG rods and pretty much make this one at home. It's not that big a deal. Okay, clamp it in your vise where your magic marker mark, and kind of give it a pull. Okay, and beat it around with a hammer. Okay, then flip it over here and put it in the vise as square as you can get it on your magic marker mark. Okay. Alright, now you want to kind of make sure that this backside, right here is level before you do this. Okay, and then you just put a little bit of pressure on this side right here while you're hitting on it. Let's see if I got this all in the shot. Alright. Alright. There's that. Now see, you got, that's nothing to that stand, that flat part right there. You just, like I say, 28 inch welding rod and you bend it around in a vise. Okay. You do two of these, you got one flat and one with a dip. I'll show you how to do the dip. Okay, now the way we're going to do this is some outright redneck ingenuity. It takes a little bit, but you got to figure out how to do it. Okay. Now you got to figure out the magic height. Okay, which is a 2x4 and our standard 2x4, and then a rough cut, two rough cut 2x4s. Okay. Now you got your stand, and you're going to have it right there at that height. Okay. I'm going to crank the vise out just a little bit. Now, put your little weight up here to hold it on. As you can see, this is already becoming a very complicated operation. Now, let me show you right here. The way you make your jig is you take a block of steel, okay, and you drill a hole in it and saw it in half. Or you do like I did, and you take 2 blocks and you clamp them together and drill a hole in it. Okay, 1/2's going to be your jig. All right. Now, what you do here, you take this and you scoot this jig right into here. Okay, you got to kind of square everything up. Okay, got that jig right there in the center. And then you lay this piece of steel, this steel rod in there. And then you start cranking the vise in. Alright, I'm up a little high. Was my head in the way? Let's see, right there should be perfect. Okay, now what you do is you just start cranking it in. You gotta move that. Get all this out of the way. All that was to do is to hold it in. Alright, you start cranking it. You crank it all the way in until it just touches at the bottom. Okay? Run this in, get you a little bit closer of a look. Alright, now see that right there? See how it's bent the top and the bottom? So what you want to do now is you get your hammer, you reach up here and you grab this part and you start giving it a hit until it goes back square. Okay? Come down here, start giving this a hit. Now this is so far about, this is the only way I have found of doing this. And then you undo the vise. And then there's your dip. Okay? I have no other way of doing that other than that. That's the best way I know of doing it. And see, that way you've got room for your other rod to go on top so that it'll be flat. Now on to the next. Okay, now I'm not necessarily going to bore you with a whole lot of the details on this one because this is kind of a C-spot run type deal. Okay, because what you do is you cut the rods. Okay, measure the length that you want. Okay, this is like 10 inch. 10 inch high seems to work pretty good for me. Okay, so you cut 4 rods 10 inch. Okay, now the center rods right here, you'll want to cut this one about 1/8 inch longer than that one because you're going to dimple it. Okay, and on these you want to round the ends of the rods real good. You don't want them to be sharp. Now what you want to do for the distance for this rod, whatever pot you want to fit in there. Okay, now this one, see, this stand will pretty securely hold that size right there, but I'm going to make one that's going to be that size. So what I'll do for that rod, when I cut it, I'll make it like 6 1/4. See, just enough room for that pot to fit in there. So I'm gonna cut everything up, then I'll dimple it and I'll show you how to do it. Alright, now I've rounded off the end of it. Let me show you how it looks before and after. This is a rod, what it looks like before, and then this is what it looks like after you've rounded it off real nice. And say it's pretty good because if you got them sharp points, you know, it may cut a hole in your backpack or something, or your food bag. So now I'll bend the centerpiece, we'll be ready to weld it together. Okay, now the actual assembly of this is a snap. Okay, take you a flat piece of plate. Okay, lay a piece of metal up here. All right, put your square up here. Take another piece of metal and shove it up here. Okay, now you have a square part. Take that rod, slide it up till it just touches. Grab whatever your chosen height is going to be. For me, it's going to be 3/8. Okay, then you take that and slide that rod right up in there. Put you another rod in there the same space. Slide that rod up in there. Put you something to weigh it down. And there you go. You weld it right there, weld it right there. That's all you got to do. Then you repeat it with the other one with the flat bar. Alright, and that's all you got to do right there. You just hold that gas on it until it cools off. Get a little bit more. Alright, and that's it. Pull all the stuff off. And there you go. One nice stand. See, now all I got to do is I just got to make the other one that's got the flat part. See, this one's a lot wider than mine. See where that pot's at. There we go. Pot's gonna fit right on there. Nothing to it. Ain't that neat? Okay, now for the final piece of the puzzle, I'm going to show the scoop stove. Okay, what the scoop stove is it's either a mini shovel, a scraper, a scooper. It's a handheld torch. Put your flame in here. And I've been asked about this for about a year now, and so I figured I'd finally throw it in. And a lot of these parts and pieces are made similar to some of the other things I've made, so I'll just kind of hit the high points. Okay, now the way this thing it comes apart is you pull the handle off of it, pull the handle off just like that. Okay, and then you pull off all these bent up rods, and it gives you a tray with tubing welded to it. Okay, and so then you just slide this together, and the beauty of this thing is the way this little tray is made is the tray holds the fire, and it was originally designed for compressed fuel tablets, the trioxane tablets, or for the pyro gel that the military now uses. And but this little tray here, I mean, you can pretty much put darn near anything in it that'll burn in a pinch if you had to. If things got real ugly, just get you something flammable, pour alcohol in it, kerosene, gas, whatever, and you just bend the legs out and you put your pot on it, and that's all there is to it. So, you know, and just whatever's flammable's in here. So, all right, let's run in the shop and I'll hit the high points on how to make this. Okay, the first step is you take cut four lengths of welding rod, okay, and you mark them round off the ends, and then you mark them 1.25 inches from the end, okay, and that'll be your 4 legs. Put them in a vise and bend them over. Just like I showed you with the other ones, okay, so it's going to have 1.25 inch, 90-degree leg on it. Okay, you got 4 legs bent. Now, what you want to do is you want to cut the little pieces of tubing for the side. So what you do is you find whatever stainless steel tubing you can that the legs will fit into, and you mark off 4 pieces 1.25 inch long. Okay. Put it in the vise. And then the way I like to cut it is I like to use a cutoff wheel on a grinder. Just cut you off 4 of them and deburr. Alright, for the next step, you're going to take a piece of 1/16 thick stainless steel. I can't remember what gauge it is, but you cut it 4.5 long by 2.25 wide. Okay, and I'm going to cut it with the same cutoff wheel. Now the next step here is you put it in a vise after you've marked 1 1/8 inches off each side, which stands for the height of this wall. Okay, I beat it over exactly 70 degrees because what 70 degrees does is it gives you this cross at just the right point, and it makes it to where when these are about 1 inch tall, they are spaced just the right part to put a pan on without being too close or too far apart. You just take a rubber hammer and you just start beating it over, and then you eyeball it until you get it close. Alright. Then you want to fine tune it with a smaller hammer. Alright, and then you just do that until you get it right, and then you do the other side, and then you'll be ready to do the other side right here on this line. You'll be ready to go then. Alright, that's what gives you your tub shape. No big deal, nothing to it. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to trace for the sides. So you just lay a piece of metal on there. You lay it on there just like that. And then you just trace around the sides. Okay. And then you just take your grinder and you cut the sides out. Cut 2 of them and then weld it together. There's one side. There's the other side. And I just got to weld it together. Alright, now all I got to do is, as you can see, I got the tray welded together. So now all I got to do is these little pieces here. I just got to weld them to the side, right there. That way it'll look like that. Alright, that part right there is done. I got them welded on. Now all that's left is the handle. Alright, next is for the handle. I'm going to use a piece of black Delrin plastic. Now you could use wood if you want to, but to me wood can eventually crack. So this will last a long time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round the edges off in the milling machine, and then I drill the holes in the end. Okay, I got this thing made up now relatively decent looking, where I've got radiuses all the way around, so it's got a nice comfortable grip. Okay, now this is where the kind of the redneck engineering part of it comes in. I got it welded. Okay, I got the tray welded and I got the rod slid in. So what you do now is you lay it flat on the table. Okay, lay it flat on the table, and then you take a piece of tape. You put a piece of tape over the end. Okay. Alright. And then when you take that tape, what you do then, you mash these down to where they're just about touching. Okay. And then you lay this down until you got a little bit sticking out right here. And then you just push it over it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to mark the end of it for where the holes are going to be drilled. Right here, here, and here. Okay, so see on the end here, I've got this marked where these holes are going to be, and I'm just going to start a drill bit hole right in the middle right here. Right there and right there. And I'm going to drill these by hand, and I'm just going to, when I drill them, I'm just going to drill them at a slight angle going in, because these things are at an angle. Okay. Alright, once you've got that part right there started with a standard size drill bit, standard length, then part of the trick is to use this extra long drill bit. And that's how you get that handle up in there good and deep. Now you're just ready to assemble it. Alright, well, back over here at the table now. And I'm going to try to, I got the holes drilled into the end of it. I don't know if you can see them or not. They're not real straight, but like I always say, I ain't trying to win no beauty contest. Alright, and there you go. One brand spanking new scoop stove. Put together, ready to go out in the woods and have fun. Alright, now, well, I don't know how long this video is going to be. It's probably going to be pretty long, but I'm going to try not to do too many more shop videos. I'm going to try to be out in the woods more often. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching me make all this kind of stuff and see how it's done. And, you know, improvise, beg, borrow, make friends with a welder. Do whatever you have to, but basically just always remember, I ain't trying to win no beauty contest. As long as it works, that is all that matters. So, till next time, we'll see you. You thought the video was over. Alright, I never do unboxings on any of my videos because I reckon they're just too short. But this is something right here that I got through the mail that I'm gonna open it up here on camera at the end of this video. And it is from the Howling Dingo, okay? And that's Alan Ainsworth. His channel's Howling Dingo. And he said he was going to send me something, and he sent it care of Alan Ainsworth, and it's from John Horton. And John Horton is a very well-known artist. So I got a funny feeling I know what it is. So here it goes. I'm going to open it up. Do not bend. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what's in here. Pull it open here. It's got insulation in it. Alright. Piece of cardboard. Funny, I don't have a knife with me. I should though, shouldn't I? Let's see. Pop it open and... oh man! Oh, rock on! Oh man, look at it. That is awesome. I love it. Fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is wonderful. I love this thing. This is awesome. Absolutely awesome. John Horton original. Thank you, Alan, and thank you, John. This is so cool. This looks great. I love it. It's the treeless hammock. Okay, now for real. We'll catch you in the next one.